Let's start with the real, uncomfortable truth. Motivation is unreliable. It's fleeting. It comes and goes like the wind. If you depend on motivation to build your dreams, you're building on sand. And when life hits you with setbacks, storms, distractions, and doubts, that foundation won't hold. We've all felt it. That surge of energy when we set a new goal. The hype of a new beginning. The vision in our head of what we want to become. And we start strong, right? Day 1, we hit the gym. We write that first chapter. We meal prep. We post that video. Day 2, we're still going. Day 3, maybe a little slower. And by day 7, we tell ourselves, I'll pick it back up on Monday. But here's the truth. Success doesn't care about your feelings. It cares about your discipline. It rewards those who keep going when it's no longer exciting, when it's repetitive, when it's lonely, when it's inconvenient. That's why the first step to consistency is killing the myth that motivation is your fuel. It isn't. Purpose is. Vision is. Your reason. That deep, unshakable why. That's your fuel. People who achieve massive things aren't superhuman. They're not always excited. They're just consistent. They force themselves to show up because they understand. The price of consistency is always less than the cost of regret. So when motivation disappears, and it will, let your commitment carry you. Let your habits support you. Let your vision guide you through the noise. Life will test you. And when it does, you must anchor yourself in routine, in purpose, in the non-negotiables you've set for yourself. Discipline is painful, yes, but the pain of discipline is nothing compared to the pain of disappointment, of knowing you could have been more, done more, created more, if only you had stayed consistent. Talent is a gift, but consistency is a decision. We live in a world obsessed with talent. We glorify the naturals, the prodigies, the people who make it look easy. But here's what no one talks about. Most talented people never fulfill their potential. Why? Because they lean on their talent instead of building their work ethic. Let's look at athletes. There are thousands of people with raw talent, but only a handful become legends. Why? Because showing up to train, even when you're tired, even when your body aches, even when you're not seeing results yet. That's what separates the elite from the average. Let's talk about repetition. It's not sexy, it's not flashy, but it's the engine behind mastery. Repetition is how babies learn to walk, how musicians learn to play, how artists refine their vision, how leaders develop intuition. And yet, when we grow older, we start to believe that if something feels repetitive, it's not valuable. But that's backwards. Repetition is the process by which greatness is forged. Think about the gym. 1 rep doesn't change your body. 1 healthy meal doesn't transform your life. But done daily? That's how progress is made. And here's the key. What you repeat becomes who you are. If you repeat laziness, excuses, procrastination, you build an identity rooted in avoidance. But if you repeat action, discipline, reflection, you become someone who gets things done. Kobe Bryant didn't become great by doing random workouts. He took 800 shots a day, every day, repetition, routine, relentlessness. So when it gets boring, when it feels like you're doing the same thing over and over, remind yourself, this is the grind that creates greatness. Repetition is your training ground. It's where your future self is formed. And when you commit to it, you become unstoppable. Everyone wants confidence, but most people are chasing the wrong things to get it. Confidence doesn't come from likes. It doesn't come from compliments. It comes from doing what you said you would do, even when it's hard. When you wake up early, even though no one asked you to. When you stick to your plan, even though no one is watching. When you show up to practice, to study, to train, to work, that's where real confidence is born. Because confidence is self-trust. It's the internal belief. If I say I'm going to do it, I will. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, you build that trust. And the stronger that trust becomes, the less you need validation from the outside world. Confidence is earned in private before it's shown in public. Consistency gives you that quiet power, that inner voice that says, I've done the work. I deserve to be here. So don't fake confidence. Build it, brick by brick, day by day, rep by rep. And even when the world doubts you, when people laugh, when you feel invisible, you'll have something no one can take away. The unshakable strength of knowing you showed up. You stayed true. You kept going. That's the kind of confidence that changes lives. Consistency becomes a lot easier when you design your life to support it. It's not just about willpower, it's about systems. Willpower is like a battery. It drains, but systems, they run on autopilot. And that's what you need when life gets chaotic. Want to work out consistently? Lay your clothes out the night before. Set an alarm. Find a partner. Want to create content? Schedule your ideas. Batch your production. Plan your posts. Want to save money? Automate transfers. Track your spending. Simplify your expenses. Don't leave success to chance. Engineer your environment. Make it harder to fail and easier to win. And most importantly, track your progress. Because what gets measured gets managed. And what gets managed gets mastered. Create a system that suits your energy, your lifestyle, your schedule. Not what works for others, what works for you. The more you automate the process, the less you have to fight yourself every day. Discipline becomes default. That's how you win long term. Let's be real. There will be days you want to quit. Days where you question if it's worth it, if anyone cares, if you're making progress, if it's even possible. But in those moments, I want you to remember something. Quitting guarantees failure, but showing up keeps the door open for miracles. The people you admire didn't always believe in themselves, but they kept showing up. They kept doing the work. They pushed through the silence, through the setbacks, through the pain. Force yourself to be consistent. Not because it's easy, but because it's necessary. You can't control how fast the results come, but you can control how often you show up. And when you do, you build grit, you build identity, you build a story worth telling. Because one day you'll look back and realize it wasn't one big moment that changed your life. It was the thousands of small ones where you didn't give up. Consistency isn't just a habit, it's a lifestyle. It's a decision you make every single day to become who you were meant to be. It's not about being perfect, it's about being committed. It's about deciding every morning to keep your word to yourself, to build something meaningful, to become someone you're proud of. So force yourself to be consistent, because when you do, you won't need to chase success. Success will start chasing you. Consistency isn't just a habit, it's a lifestyle. It's a decision you make every single day to become who you were meant to be. It's not about being perfect, it's about being committed. It's about deciding every morning to keep your word to yourself, to build something meaningful, to become someone you're proud of. There will be days where you don't feel like it, days where your mind says no, but your future is silently begging you to keep going. And those days, those are the defining ones. Every step you take in consistency is a step away from mediocrity and a step toward mastery. It's saying to the world, and more importantly, to yourself, I am serious about my growth. I am building something that matters. Consistency sharpens your discipline. It builds your confidence. It rewires your identity. It proves to your mind that you are trustworthy, that you do hard things, that you show up not because it's easy, but because it's who you are. And when you do that, the world shifts around you. People take notice. Opportunities appear. Doors open. Not because of luck, but because you were prepared when the moment arrived. So let this be your declaration. I will show up. I will do the work. I will stay the course. Not because I feel like it, but because I've decided I'm worth it. Force yourself to be consistent, and you will no longer have to chase success. Success will chase you. Stay strong, stay focused, and above all, stay consistent.